It's day 3 of the Delaware Combine. I'm Misha Mosley here with AJ English, Delaware native and overseas pro right now. I want to talk to you first about growing up, your childhood. Your dad was a pro. He played in the NBA, so you kind of already knew what you had to do to be successful and what you really needed to lock in on. How did he help you go through your basketball journey and guide you through that?
Just with the whole process of him making it to the NBA was like more like it can be done, or just like somebody can become a pro within the family, and then like seeing somebody, right there every single day was like, good. But the funny thing is I didn't really play basketball too much at first. I kind of bounced around. I thought I was going to end up being a baseball player. People probably don't really know that, but just I gravitated back, just from having a name and everything. So it was just like that.
What position did you play in baseball?
Shortstop, third base.
Okay.
And pitcher a lot because I kind of taller at the time, and I could throw sidearms, so I was pretty good.
So what made you shift more into basketball from baseball?
I moved down to Middletown in the 7th, 8th grade, and I tried to go, try to go play baseball, and they told me I was going to the outfield, and I'm like, exactly. So like, I'm like, majority of other kids was like going to play basketball and stuff like that, and a couple kids I already knew from basketball like that. I'm like, oh, you guys live in Middletown too? They're all playing basketball. So you're like, you know what? Like, I'm about to go try to go play basketball.
So did playing with your brother have anything to do with that? You guys played together a lot. You're always coupled together whenever we talk about the English brothers.
Right.
Did that go into your decision to play basketball more?
I mean, that's kind of pushing me away from playing, because he was it. Like, he was like 5th grade, 6th grade, #1, like, in the state and recognized in the country. And me, I wasn't having as much success that he was having right away. So I'm like, you know what, like, as long as one of the English boys play, maybe I can take the baseball route. And we were so close in age. I'm like, I mean, sometimes, I wanted to have my own little thing, as far exactly. Right? So, but he was like, I was always compared. We were always comparing, and I was like, I knew at the time I wasn't as good as my brother for sure. Like, I say that honestly, like when we were younger. But once, we got a little older, and I had like, a growing spurt, and I could always, shoot. So we kind of like, was good for each other,
Okay, so I want to talk about after you graduated high school, you made a stop at St. Thomas More Prep Academy or prep school.
Yes.
What did that time there do for you as a player or help you elevate your game?
I mean, it did a lot, because with Coach Jerry Quinn, just with him, like, he's a Hall of Fame coach, and he didn't take any nonsense from me, And younger, I just was at Apple. I was used to scoring a lot of points and just kind of just playing how I wanted to. And at St. Thomas More, I wasn't going for that. And it was a boarding school, and it was all boys, and it just a lot behind that. I had to wake up at a certain time, had to go to sleep at a certain time. It was just a different structure for me. So it helped me a lot as far as like discipline, and just every single day with him, I had to show up to practice, whether I was the best player or the worst player on the team. You had to show up every single day and play well. And he had like a a mouth on him for them to tell you. He's one of them guys like to tell you like, oh, you're playing horrible or you're playing great. So like definitely with that.
So that discipline and dedication that you learned at St. Thomas, you obviously took it with you to IONA, where you guys made the NCAA Tournament in 2016, right? And I feel like that's every college basketball player's goal or dream, is to end up in the tournament. So what was it like, playing under pretty much the brightest lights in college basketball?
I don't know. I never really paid it any mind, honestly, because when I was younger, I played with DC Takeover, and we was like #1 in the country, and we played on ESPN, and I have a bunch of NBA players that played on my team. So like, when I was younger playing on TV, and I was like a little bit more nervous then, so by the time I got to that point when I was at the tournament, I was like, oh, thank you, God, I made it. I could say that's on my resume, but by that time, it was just basketball at the end of the day.
So do you ever get nervous for any basketball-related event, game?
No?
It's just muscle memory at this point,
right?
right?
Yeah, I work out so much. I kind of never, honestly, I never got nervous. Last time I got nervous is probably like 6th, 7th grade for playing basketball. Yeah, I never.
So as you got into your pro career, you've played in so many different places, Germany, Greece, Poland, and I know coming from Delaware, that's probably a whole different lifestyle, culture. What was it like living in these countries, playing in these countries, and did you ever experience a sort of culture shock or being uneasy, uncomfortable out there?
I mean, I went to school over there when I was younger because my dad
Okay.
played overseas for like, 12, 13 years, I want to say. So it was kind of like, I started remembering things, and like I remember when I was younger, it was more of a struggle just because of, as kids, you're not going. Everybody's not going to speak English. Majority, nobody's really going to speak English except for the teachers. So, by the time I got older, the culture's kind of changing overseas nowadays. Like, English is the first language literally around the world. So everybody, kind of like, speaks English. But sometimes, you're going out places and stuff. They'll try to act like they don't speak English for certain reasons. But besides that,
funny,
was fine.
right?
Yeah,
Like-
just to be funny. And then I like, watch him, and then later on, oh, he does speak English or something like that. But I mean, no, it was pretty cool to me. I don't have a problem overseas.
What's been your favorite country that you've played in?
I'll maybe say Germany basketball wise, but like Italy as far as like, just scenery and just, places. But, I've been a lot of places. But yeah, I would say, and Greece, Athens is great too. So it's a toss up between like Italy and Greece. But
So I want to shift gears into the current like cultural moment that we're in right now. We have athletes speaking out for Black Lives Matter, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. What do you think about the boycotts that happened in the bubble the last couple of weeks? Do you think that players did the right thing in boycotting, or do you think maybe they should have did another protest or shown their support in a different way?
I mean, honestly, I support them. I'm a big fan of, people that's like, with the NBA, just how they go with things and like going to the combine and things like that, just how they approach things. And I know with them, it's a lot of thought behind things, and they do it for a reason. It's like a toss-up for a minute, like, okay, we're not going to do that. So once they get to that point, it's like, and at the end of the day, what's going on outside is unacceptable, and it's just like, social media is so, intense nowadays that cops been doing this to people since we were like, when I used to, but like they've been doing this literally, like, so it's like, they need to understand that, at any time, like, we're still human beings. So we can, like, I understand it's a job and we're supposed to go out and do those things, but if you're not going to treat us right, then we're not going to do it, So, I mean, I support them for sure.
And I want to end this interview on maybe a little bit of a lighter note. You grew up in Delaware. You've seen a lot of Delaware hoopers come in and out of the state. And I want to know, besides yourself, who would you say is the best player to come out of Delaware?
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can answer that one. I don't know if I can. I like a lot of players in Delaware.
Okay, give me top three.
Top three? I don't know. I can't. I ain't not really, because I'm going to have to be checking up with somebody one-on-one.
You want me getting some texts?
Yeah, I would get some text. I'm not, I don't know. I'm a fan of everybody with me. Like, when that Delaware discussion, like, I'm more like, I'm a fan of everybody. And I think that I'm more I would say I'm one person that supports everybody as far as, like, whether they make it right away, whether they have a longer journey as somebody else, like, I support Delaware. So, like, I don't have a top three.
Okay, good. I feel like Delaware supports you too.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
thank
appreciate
you for talking to us.